Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here again. Thank you so much for joining me in this live section. You can see that there's this video I stumbled across where Femi Falana was saying that the Nigeria cannot prove Kanu guilty. So I want you guys to just take a look at the video, and I'll be right back because this is what Femi Falana said about
In the
MAZI
case of Kanu, frankly speaking, the charges can hardly be proved. One of the counts is sedition. Sedition was pronounced illegal and unconstitutional in 1983 in the case of Otto Nwankwo and the state. So I don't know, I can't see how some of those charges will stand in law. So the choice before the government is to have this matter resolved politically.
So my people, this is actually what Femi Falana was saying, that sedition, this kind of thing that happened is sedition in the sense that they cannot punish MAZI Nnamdi Kanu or say he's guilty of any crime, because even if they should punish someone, is the people who carry the gun and start buying people. That is who they are saying. If you guys remember this Fulani leader that organized his own group in order to protect the Fulani terrorists, he organized his own group and put them in the forest. When they were judging that man, before they released him, they said that his case was a case of sedition, in the sense that he was not the one that by the people, but the people who he gave orders to carry guns are the ones that should be should be judged. That the man is not supposed to be judged, and before you know it, Tinubu released him. So if they are doing it like that, that means MAZI Nnamdi Kanu also needs to be released. If it is like that, that means he needs to, because if they're doing it as a law of sedition means, let me explain to you people what law of sedition means. It means that if your boss or your leader gives you order and say you should go and buy a particular person or do this, they are not going to, as long as you're not the one that carried the gun to buy the person, it's the people that carry the gun and buy them that are going to hold and they're going to bring to justice. But as far as the leaders did not carry that gun, that means they are not going, nothing is going to happen to them. They're going to be set free. That is what law of sedition means. And many people have been saying this is what they're supposed to do to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, at the fact that they released Meti Alali. You guys know him, Meti Alali, the famous Fulani leader who organized his own group and put them in the forest in order for them to protect the Fulani terrorists. That was the kind of law they used for him, and he was set free. So guys, you guys heard what Femi Falana said here, that it is law of sedition, that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, you guys cannot prove him guilty. I also want us to actually take a look at what is really going on today, because according to the reports on Sahara Reporter, they say that this is what is going on in Abia State. He said one soldier Kpaied as Nigerian army raids Abia community, recovers weapons, cash from militants camp. So this is what is happening. And after reading this, I found out that these people still tagged Eastern Security Network to what is going on in Abia State. Let's really read what the article says. In the article, it says that the troops of the Nigerian army under Operation Udoka have reportedly dismantled a camp allegedly belonging to the Eastern Security Network, ESN, in a coordinated raid in Ugunabo local government area of Abia State. Now, you can imagine what is going on. They had to say that they are the ones involved. These people said that it was Eastern Security Network that was involved in what happened in Abia State, and they had to recover some weapons from them. And I'm beginning to ask, why is it that anything that happens in the southeast, they will always target as ECN? A criminal is a criminal. Once you catch someone in the bush or in the forest carrying guns, you cannot just come out and say it's the ESN, the Eastern Security Network. There was a thing that these people were doing before, that if that time when MAZI Nnamdi Kanu used to go to court, they would just launch an attack in Imo State like this. They will not target as ESN. They will just launch attack and they will not target as ESN. There was even a time that they brought there was a politician who carried this truck and painted it Biafra so that people will believe that Biafrans or IPOB are always scattering everywhere, always launching an attack in Imo State. Now, if you notice within these images here, this was the weapons that was recovered from the militant camp, and now they say that it was Eastern Security Network. Before, what they used to do is that if they catch any terrorist, they will now use this Biafran flag and put on top of it so that it will give MAZI Nnamdi Kanu a bad image and say, okay, this is what IPOB is, this is what Eastern Security Network is doing. But to my shocking surprise, in the weapons that they showed here, there was nothing like Biafran flag, which shows that shows that they have removed mind from anything MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Because if it was before, any attack that they launch in Imo State or Abia State, anywhere in the southeast, they would just tag it as Eastern Security Network, and it was really, really bad. Then they wanted to portray a bad image to MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. So let's read on. He said, according to a special situation report, SITREP from 144 Battalion obtained by Sarah reporters on Friday, the operation was launched in the early hours of May 23, following actionable intelligence on the presence of an Eastern Security stronghold in the Ebubengwa Abayi cultural Okoro community. So reading on to the next one, it says that the signal said the raid, which involved 6 platoons of 49 soldiers each, was led by the unit commander and supported by 1 armored personal carrier, that's APC, a gun truck, and 6 Hilux vehicles. According to the report, the operation led to the complete dislodgement and destruction of the camp, with troops recovering a significant cache of arms and logistics. Items recovered include 1 times rocket-propelled grenade, 1 times general purpose machine gun, 4 times AK-47 rifles, and 1 times G3 rifle, 3 times pump-action guns, 8 rounds of 7.62 special ammunition, and 648 pounds of 7.62 NATO runs. This is what they actually discovered from these people. This is what they discovered from the militant camp. But the question is, why do they keep tagging ESN to it? A criminal is a criminal. If you guys catch a criminal, you say it's a criminal. You don't have to come out and start saying it's Eastern Security Network. And MAZI Nnamdi Kanu have already told them that Eastern Security Network is he was even saying that he was the one that formed it. But what these people do is that they stay in the forest. They don't live anywhere. They stay in the forest, and all they do is to protect our mothers who go to farm. MAZI Nnamdi Kanu has said it clear to them countless times. And according to what they say that they also recovered some CCTV cameras from these people. They recovered CCTV cameras. Look at what they said here. It says that the report has it further that in the ensuing firefight, the militants were forced into disarray under heavy firepower, leaving behind blood trails, while the exact number of casualties remains unconfirmed. The Nigerian Army said it recorded 1 fatality and 2 wounded in action, 1 officer and 1 soldier. The deceased was said to have been taken to the Federal Medical Center in Umuahia, and the injured personnel are receiving treatment at a medical facility in Aba. This is actually what is happening. But even according to the report, they said that they still found CCTV cameras with these people and 1 generator. This is really so bad. So guys, reading on to what is really going on in Nigeria, because we're actually taking a look at everything that's happening in Nigeria currently. So this is when Fulani herdsmen, they said Fulani herdsmen must vacate farmlands, Benue monarch declare after emergency meeting. I think it's time for them to start they should start implementing this anti-grazing law. Yes, so that they will stop allowing these Fulani herdsmen to be entering a particular state. Like these Fulani people are so comfortable carrying their cows to any place they want. Even a place you're not supposed to see them, you see them. Sometimes they'll go as far as causing traffic on the road. You see them carrying their cows and crossing the road. The Nigerian police are not saying anything. The Nigerian army are not saying anything, but they are seeing what is happening. And it is just as if people are not believing that some of our governors sold our lands to Fulani people, because the way they accommodate them is something that we need to start asking questions about. Now, the Benue monarch is saying that they should leave their community. Now take a look at what he said. He said the council made this demand in a community issued after an emergency meeting to discuss security concerns, land use, and peace building in Idoma. The Idoma Area Tradition Council of Benue State has called on the state government to direct Fulani herdsmen to vacate all farmlands in the state. Reading on, it says that the council made this demand in a communique issued after an emergency meeting to discuss security concerns, land use, and peace building in Idoma. He said, "We urge the government to prevail on Fulani herdsmen to vacate all farmlands in Benue State." The council say now what they're trying to say is that they don't want to see Fulani herdsmen again in their lands. You guys know that Benue people, that's the Idoma, they are known for farming. They are known for farming. So these Fulani herdsmen are always the one disturbing their peace. Sometimes these Fulani herdsmen don't even allow them to go to farms again. And that is what people keep suffering in Benue State. So reading on to the next article, it says that the continuous occupation of our farmlands by these herdsmen is a recipe for disaster and has led to the loss of lives and properties. The monarch also called on the government to review its land policies to promote equitable access to land resources for both farming and herding activities. You can see what is really happening here. They're saying that the fact that the herdsmen are occupying their land is a recipe for disaster and it has led to loss of lives and properties. So the monarch has asked the government to review its land policies to promote equitable access to land resources for both farming and herding activities. And now the monarch is saying that the Fulani people should leave their farmland for them. And that's when anti-overgrazing law comes in, that they should stop these Fulani herdsmen. If they should implement that law in Nigeria, you find out that these Fulani terrorists, at least the insecurity in Nigeria is going to reduce by 100%. So reading on to the next thing here, it says that there is a need for a comprehensive review of land policies to ensure that both farmers and herders have access to land resources, the council stated. The council further demanded that the government prioritize the enforcement of laws against illegal arms, criminal activities, and unauthorized land use, with offenders facing prosecution. Reading on, it says, "We urge the government to prioritize the enforcement of laws against illegal arms, criminal activities, and unauthorized land use," the communique read. Then reading on to the next one, it says, "We also demand that the government provide rehabilitation, counseling, and support services to communities and individuals affected by violence and displacement. The government should also deploy additional security personnel to vulnerable areas and conduct conflict resolution training to deter future violence," the council added. Now, they're saying that they urge the government to provide counseling and support services to communities and individuals that are affected by violence and displacement, just like what really happened in Plateau State, the way people were displaced because of violence, because of the way these people attacked them. So, the government also needs to look into these areas, thereby giving these people shelters because they are not running away. What happened in Plateau State is just like World War. Yes, where the Fulani herdsmen attacked and everybody left their community and ran away. That is just what happened, displacing people from their different community. And it is actually very bad. You leaving your community for a total stranger. So reading on, it says the monarch, the man, comes the ongoing conflict between farmers and herdsmen in the region, with some communities expressing attacks and displacement. The council called for the herdsmen to vacate farmland is seen as a bid to prevent further clashes and ensure peace in the area. To be honest, the conflict between farmers and herdsmen in the region is causing lots of problems in Nigeria, because when those farmers and herders are seen fighting all the time, it is what is causing to the loss of lives and properties. Every day we are hearing that a farmer was being kpaied by this Fulani herdsmen. And the worst part is, it's not even their community, but they have the full right to be there. And many people are still believing that the government are the ones selling our lands to Fulani people, thereby making them to be able to have the right to do anything they want to do in our land, buy people, and they feel they can go scot-free. Ever since, we've been hearing cases of Fulani herdsmen buying people in their community or in their farmland. We've not also heard of where they say that they arrested these Fulani herdsmen or they are brought to justice, they are always going scot-free. And many Nigerians are saying that the government needs to explain something to us, tell us why they are backing up these Fulani terrorists a lot. So reading on to this next article here today, it says that parents demand 100 million ransom for adopted WAEC students passengers in River State. Like I keep telling you guys, if I tell you the amount of money we have spent in insecurity in Nigeria, I'm sure that is enough to build investment in this country as well as promote Nigeria. Like every day we are paying for insecurity. Now take a look at what these pirates are demanding. They are demanding for 100 million naira ransom for the WAEC students that they kidnapped in River State. This is so bad. So reading on to what the article says, it says that the Brazil attack, which occurred in the deemed local government area of Rivers State, has left families in agony and communities in turmoil. The captors of 13 passengers, including 8 students en route to sit for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination (WAEC), who were adopted by pirates along the Port Harcourt Billy Waterways on May 6, 2025 are still missing, and they are demanding a 100 million ransom for their release. These people are still missing since May 6, 2025, and the abductors are already asking for a 100 million naira ransom. So they say the abductors hijacked 2 passenger boats during the incident, seizing all on board, including the WAEC-bound students. In a statement on Friday, Dr. Asaki Miller, an indigent of Bili Kingdom and the immediate past youth president of the community, confirmed that the abductors had contacted the victims' families, demanding a ransom of 100 million naira. So reading on here, it says that it speaks that the whereabouts of the victim is still unknown, and now we have been made to understand that the abductors are asking for 100 million naira ransom. Miller said during a press briefing in Port Harcourt, he expressed grave concerns over the safety and health conditions of the abductees, particularly the students, and decried the psychological toll the order is having on their families. Like this is not actually easy for the families of these students who were kidnapped. These are innocent children who were just going to write their WAEC, and before you know it, they were not kidnapped. And now the kidnappers are asking for a 100 million naira ransom. Like imagine a family who doesn't really have much, so they have to like start looking for where to borrow and beg in order to pay for the release of their children. This is totally bad. If I tell you, for let me say 10 years ago, what we've paid in insecurity, or let's say 7 years ago, what we've paid in insecurity is a whole lot that we can usually use the money and do something for Nigerians. So reading on here, it says that there are young students who were on their way to write their exams. Their parents are traumatized, and no family in our community can raise such an atrocious amount. We are deeply worried. Time is ticking, and the authorities must act fast. Miller added. Dr. Miller urged the River State Sole Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, to take decisive action to ensure the safe release of the captives. Like you can see what they say, that they don't even have such amount of money, able to help those students to be able to be released. This to show you how bad it is. Now, reading on to the next one, it says that we have lodged complaints with various quarters, including the security agencies and the government. We even staged a protest to alert the authorities, but up to now, we have not heard anything. Whatever the case, we are calling on the state sole administrator to swing into action, he said. The former chairman of Bini community, Mr. Fibiti Bibi, also weighed on in the matter, confirming that one of the victims, a uniformed security personnel, had been released by the kidnappers last Friday. Okay, now this is when they were saying that among the people who were actually kidnapped, they still had to release a uniformed security person who was wearing a uniform security personnel, and he was released last Friday, but the WAEC students have not yet been released. And now they're calling on the sole administrator of River State to swing into action immediately for the lives of those children. Now, many Nigerians came out and they were saying that let us see how what this whole administrator will do for these people. You guys know that ever since they removed Fubara from the governor of River State, many people are not happy because of the way they put a sole administrator there. And many people are saying that let us see the work of this sole administrator. What is he really there in River State to do? Many people were even saying that they don't understand the work of this sole administrator that was appointed by Tinubu in Rivers State. Now they are still calling him upon to swing into actions to save these children's lives before it's too late, as time is ticking. So reading on to the next thing here, they said they released a uniformed man who was kidnapped alongside the students last Friday. We don't know whether ransom was paid, but right now they are demanding 100 million naira for the students and Bailey residents that were adopted. Where would that money come from? BB asks. We don't have that kind of money. The security agencies should do what they are supposed to do and rescue these people. Nobody has that kind of money to give. They should please release the victims. The security agency should please take the necessary action, he pleaded. So reading on to the next thing here, it says that we contacted the spokesperson of for the Rivers State Police Command, Grace Irenga Koko, confirmed that the security efforts have been ramped up to rescue the victims and bring the perpetrators to justice. Efforts have been intensified to secure the release of the victims and to apprehend the perpetrators, and she said, assuring the public that the police were working in collaboration with other security agencies to address the situation. Like, guys, I keep telling you people that the insecurity that is going on in Nigeria is something that is so alarming that we need to fight it. That's what many people have been saying, that I think it's high time that we start defending ourselves. Even Ned Woko was a time saying in an interview he had and was saying that it's time for Nigerians to start carrying guns to defend themselves because enough is enough. Enough is enough, like, because of what is really going on in our country. Now, I remember the time when anything that happened in Abia State or Imo State, they will tag it as IPOB and Instant Security Network, but they have forgotten that there was a time that Hope Uzodinma came out to vindicate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as well as the indigenous people of Biafra, where he was saying that all the things going on is not IPOB. So, guys, I want you guys to just take a look at this video, and I'll be right back. Of where Hope Uzodinma said that whatever that is going on in the southeast, it is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is political something. So, guys, take a look at this.
If anybody tells you that IPOB is the one killing people in Oluzon, it is not correct. Wicked politicians are sponsoring the killings in Olu. Last week in Oberuru, the APC ward chairman was killed in his house. The APC secretary was killed in his house. APC woman leader was killed in his house. I have cross-checked since the inception of this banditry. Not one PDP man has died.
I'm sure you guys listened to what Hope Uzodinma said here, saying that everything that was going on in Imo State is a political something. In fact, he even blamed it on opposition parties that are the ones causing the attacks in Imo State, and it is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they played this in court, telling the people what is really going on. Now, I want you guys to also listen to what this man has to say concerning the insecurity in Nigeria as well as the terrorists that is going on. So, guys, please take a look at this, and I'll be right back.
Use my words, please.
Yeah, no, I'm saying this is a national
might be very careful.
And there are good people in
I am speaking
tribe.
about national security. Hold on, please. My brother, this is a national security issue.
Yes.
There is a war on. You want to pretend there's no war. There's a war on.
I'm only saying there are
a lot of you journalists are part of the problem. You don't want to address the truth. There's a war on. Why are you saying you're not pretending? There's a war on. People have been killed everywhere. You're saying there's no war. What do you mean you're not pretending? You are. You are part of the problem in this country. Allow us to speak the truth so that people will know what's going on. There's a war on. People in the Benue cannot go to farm. People in Plateau cannot stay in their houses. People in Taraba can't. Everywhere there's a war. And you're telling me that we should keep quiet? No, there's a problem. So those who are responsible for the war simply want to turn Nigeria into a settler colonial entity. And that's what's going on. You don't see that. You're seeing the politics. Forget about the politics. There is a real problem in the country. People are not sleeping at night. People, even in daytime, our farmers cannot go to farms. We now have food security problems. Why? The Fulani war across West Africa has finally bettered in Nigeria. And you don't want me to talk about it. Why? Who are you afraid of? Who will hear it and we will die? This is the problem. The country has gone wrong. Because a lot of you keep quiet. I'm aware of this. So please, when we have a problem like this, serious national security issue, we must speak to it and not pretend it doesn't exist. It does exist.
No. All right, Dr.
It does exist.
All right, Dr. Ononuju. You have given your reasons for the massive defections to the APC. But my concern is this, and a lot of Nigerians have raised these concerns. Now that a lot of people are moving to the APC, like you rightly said, that most people in the South and the Middle Belt would rather vote a Tinubu than vote someone from the Fulani extraction. The question is this: can APC really contain all these, defections into their party? People have raised concerns that there might be an implosion in the APC. Do you see it that way?
There's nothing wrong with implosion. Implosions are historically normal in human situations. When you put too many things inside one container, they could implode when that container can no more bear them. So when you put inside APC, people from different ideological backgrounds, implosion becomes inevitable. There's nothing wrong with it. What you will ask yourself is, after the implosion, where do we go to? Are you afraid of implosion? No, don't be afraid of implosion. In most societies, without an implosion, nobody knocks the gong and calls people to come and talk and find out solutions to the crises that have undermined the community. Nigeria currently is at a crossroad. There is a war on, an asymmetrical war, and the government seems very weak about it. People are panicking and people are running, thinking that Tinubu can help. And that's the problem. If other politicians cannot, well, there's nothing wrong for the sake of security thinking that Tinubu will be different from either Atiku or Buhari. I see nothing different in Atiku and Buhari. They're the same 10 and 10 pence. So Tinubu is the only one that's different from them. If you're telling me now, and I'll talk about security situation, that's the problem. The country is in dire straits, and the security architecture looks like it has been Afghanistan. It is right now ineffective. And that's why you're hearing people talk about state police and protocols that will allow the people to be able to protect themselves. We are moving towards that. If the government cannot help, people will resort to self-help. My brother, the security situation is serious and it is real. And this is the problem. We're not talking about it. We're pretentiously talking about it on the political front. There are underplays that are driving this problem in.
Yeah,
and for me, I will advise anybody, go to Tinubu instead of another Fulani politician.
All right. We have spoken to you before on this program, especially on security. You are somebody known for your brutal opinion, which has endeared many persons, and maybe will make you not to have too many friends because you always say it the way you say it, and that's a good thing. And we're talking about political parties, but we are rounding off. But since you mentioned security, let me just, as we crossed home on that. There have been, in fact, there is no more pockets, series of attacks. The Daily Trust, yesterday, if you could lay your hands on it, have a report, and I'm sure possibly you don't need the Daily Trust to tell you what we are in right now. I'm asking you this, not just as a political analyst, but as a Nigerian, somebody that has a keen interest in politics. We have been having overrunning of army bases. Even yesterday, an army base was still overrun. Nigerian soldiers are killed right now, and then, I was just discussing with my colleague before you came up to say, what is that audacity that these individuals, these criminals, what do they have? What gives them that confidence that they can give a go at an army base and they are succeeding? Even when some of them are affected and killed and neutralized, they still had it done yesterday. We don't know where is next. What is that audacity that they have? Many persons said, okay, we now have a southerner, somebody who is a big personality that will not pan to any concentration. I'm talking about Tinubu, that he will do what is right. But now we're having overrunning of army bases. Many persons are saying the Minister of Defense should go. But for me, primarily, what is fueling this audacity of these criminals to give a go at an army base, and they have been doing it repeatedly? What do you think is the problem?
One, the military are not united. Two, because of under the Buhari administration, there was a large-scale Afghanization of the Nigerian security services. And when I mean Afghanization, you understand what it is. It's the penetration by political interests into the security services to actually plant soldiers who will do things in line with their own security intentions And if they want to take over the country, of course, the easiest way is to put their militias into our army, or rather, to have our army give up weapons and give up bases easy to their militias. And that's what's going on. So people are actually, yes, that's why you're seeing some people try to run to Tinubu. But sometimes they might also stop running to Tinubu and start organizing for themselves. I foresee people resorting to self-help. You see the army base. Ask yourself, I've said it on this program before, Tinubu might have taken over power, but is he in charge security-wise all over the country? I don't think so. There are a lot of infiltrations perpetrated during the Buhari period that Tinubu has not yet been able to undo. You now see a lot of those taken into security services, people who are said to be the radicalized elements from Boko Haram. It is those radicalized elements that are now showing the Boko Haram and all these Islamist fronts, militias, what to do in the country. At the end of the Civil War, Nigeria was 70% Christian, 30% Muslim. But the Muslims have been fighting to try to turn everything upside down. So, and their Muslim politicians are also doing the same thing. So, I tell you, there is an Afghanization of Nigerian security services underway. And that's what I can tell you. I don't believe in all those things that are being done. If it is here, people agitating for peacefully, agitating for different standards, you will see the army come to the east and start arresting people, start arresting Sunday Igboho. How come the army are not strong up north? Don't forget, these same security strategies were employed to undermine President Goodluck Jonathan. And now that the same set of people are not happy with President Tinubu, they are now employing the same strategy to suddenly undermine President Tinubu. That's why I'm telling you that what you're having now is an Afghanization of the security services. So that has been known for a very long time, and I have been very strong on this. Speaking about security, when most people were very afraid to even allow me speak, what happened today is all over the place. What I've been saying for the past 12 years, is it not all over the place? And these were products of hard research findings. I traveled to Mali, I went to Burkina Faso, I went to Cote d'Ivoire, I went to Ghana, I traveled to Yemen, the homeland of the Fulani, and I found out these problems. I presented it to Nigerians and I told them there is a war on to take land from Nigerians, take the land, take over the land, administer over the land, colonize the people who own the land. And that's what I tell you, it is the new version of settler colonialism taking place in Nigeria. Even helped by Buhari administration. Buhari told people to come into the country with guns. How could you let people come through your border with guns? Those people with guns.
So my people, you guys listen to what this man said in this video. Now I would have said that it was poverty that is actually fueling insecurity, but I'm wrong, because people who are, I'll be wrong if I say poverty is what is fueling insecurity in Nigeria, because there are a lot of Fulani terrorists, and these people, they have sponsors. Actually, these Boko Haram people, they have sponsors. This ISWAP, they have sponsors. So I won't say it's poverty. They just wanted to cause havoc in Nigeria for their own reasons. I don't know why. Maybe they want to just fully take over Nigeria. And many people have seen that the reason why they're doing this because they want to really take over Nigeria. Now, many people are asking that is only spiritual solution that we can use to surmount insecurity in Nigeria, that we can use to stop insecurity in Nigeria, because we've tried every other possible means. We've tried to see how we're going to stop insecurity in Nigeria, but it's not working. So I think many Nigerians are saying they're going to go spiritually this time around because of the insecurity in Nigeria. I'm telling you guys the honest truth. You know, anybody who is seen, any politician you see still trying to join APC, which you already know that since APC started ruling Nigeria, there have been insecurity, hunger in the land, hardship, then you know that person is a fool. Instead of them to see how they're going to form coalition in order to stop APC from being the ruling party for over how many years now, so they are still going to see how they're going to join APC and they still want APC to rule come 2027. There was a video I saw online where a man was putting the billboard of Tinubu, I think it was in Abuja also, and the people started lamenting, saying, "What are you trying to do? Are you still trying to put Tinubu come 2027 again, knowing fully well what we've really suffered in Tinubu's regime? How Tinubu has caused hunger, insecurity in our land, and you guys still went as far as putting his billboard." And the man was like, "That is what they asked me to do. We need to stop, we need to have sense this period, we need to have sense come 2027 as Nigeria decides who's going to rule again. We need to have sense because we can't keep suffering. We need a new president who's able to, rule this country, stop insecurity. Just like P2B came out and was saying that he's only going to join coalition with Atiku if only the coalition can bring an end to bad governance. And now many people have come out and they have been attacking Showore because of what Showore have been saying about P2B, where he said that P2B went to Rome to meet Tinubu in order to beg Tinubu about the Fidelity Bank issue. And P2B came out immediately to debunk that rumor, as well as Bianco Juku, where he said no, that P2B didn't go there, we didn't go to Rome to beg Tinubu for anything. In fact, it was Bianco Juku self that asked P2B to come and meet the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because on the normal, P2B wouldn't have even gone to meet him at all. But because Bianco Joku asked him to come and greet the president, that is why he went there. And Showore has been saying that he went there in order to beg Tinubu for what happened in Fidelity Bank and the bank, what you guys heard about what happened in Fidelity Bank. So many people have been saying that he didn't go there. So P2B is saying that even if I should join coalition with anybody, that person must promise that it's going to bring an end to bad governance and insecurity in Nigeria. That is only what he's doing. And many Nigerians are now asking that these people cannot keep going ahead and be anything that happens in the southeast, they cannot just go and start tagging it as ESN or IPOP. That enough is enough. If you look at very well in this picture, what happened in Abia community, because they said the military people raided the environment, and in the process of everything, they kpaied a soldier. One soldier was fired. So if you take a look at it now, in all these pictures, look at the weapons that were recovered from these terrorists. And now, if you look at very well in it, you won't see anything Biafra, anything, because these people, what they used to do before is that before MAZI Nnamdi Kanu will go to court, or when he's in court, they will try to launch an attack in order to tag MAZI Nnamdi Kanu a bad place, and they will go as far as looking for the Biafran flag in order to put on top of the weapon and snap picture and send and say that it is IPOB or it's the indigenous people of Biafra that has caused this thing, and they are the ones that are causing problems in Nigeria. But if in this case there was nothing like Biafran flag here or anything, there was this politician self that what he used to do is that he had a helos. What he did was he painted the helos with Biafran flag, like the paint of the was Biafran flag, and he all did this because he wanted to bring MAZI Nnamdi Kanu down. He wanted to bring IPOB down, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because, like Femi Falana said, that is the law of seduction that they have to use in MAZI Nnamdi Kanu, that he's not guilty of anything. And I'm sure you guys know what is law of seduction. I'm going to play what Femi Falana said again. Then, after playing the video for you guys to watch, I'll explain to you guys what he meant in this
In
video.
the case of Kanu, frankly speaking, the charges can hardly be proved. One of the counts is sedition. Sedition was pronounced illegal and unconstitutional in 1983 in the case of Otto Nwankwo and the state. So I don't know, I can't see how some of those charges will stand in law. So the choice before the government is to have this matter resolved politically.
So you guys said what he said here. It's a matter of seduction. The law of seduction means that if your leader asks you to possess gun and go and kill people, once they catch you, they're not going to judge your leader. It is you who they caught carrying out the operation that they're going to catch, and you'll be the one to face trial. Because your leader just made a broadcast, or he said something. He said, do this, defend yourself, carry gun and defend yourself. But because of the law of sedition, they're not going to arrest your leader, they're going to arrest you that carried out the operation. So that's what it means here. So Femi Falana is saying that they're not even supposed to jail MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. He's not guilty of any crime. He's not guilty of any crime. If you guys remember this man, Metia Lali, the leader of this Fulani herdsmen that created his own group, this man created his own group, just like Martin Nandekali created ESN. And the reason why he created that group was to protect the Fulani terrorists too. So, when Tinubu ascended office, they apprehended him immediately and arrested him. Then, after that same time, they had to use the law of sedition on him and say that, okay, since he's the leader, he's not the one that carried out the attacks. They had to release him. Now he's free. And many Nigerians are still asking, why won't they still use that same law in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and release the man? By the way, he didn't do anything. He's not even found of any crime, guilty or anything. He was not found with gun. He was not found with drugs. So why is it that they don't want to release him? And that is what many Nigerians were actually talking about. But it's so sad that this kind of thing is really happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is very, very sad. So, guys, I want you guys to just listen to what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have to say. One of his former broadcasts he made about Fulani people, because you guys know that the Benue monarch have already come out to start telling everybody that it's time for Fulani people to leave their land. So, this is what he said. He said Fulani herdsmen must vacate farmlands. Benue monarch declare after emergency meeting. The Benue people are tired of the way Fulani herdsmen and invading their land. So, guys, I want you guys to just listen to this odd broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where he was talking about Fulani herdsmen and their mission in Nigeria. This is not time that people started believing what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been saying for a very long time. So, guys, take a
Fulani
look at
can
this,
control
and
you
I'll be
however
right
they
back.
like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want Tinubu as the president. And you are all dying every blessed day. You are all dying every day. Had you people risen up to say that what is happening in Nigeria is bad, there is no way that Fashoranti's daughter will not be alive today. That is the price you pay for duplicity. That is the price you pay for treachery. That is the price you will continue to pay until you rise up and say, enough is enough. It is up to you to do it. You did it during NSAS. You can do it again. Can you imagine Fulani people telling you, if you remove Fulanis from Yoruba forest, imagine Fulani telling you, if you remove them from your ancestral lands, there will be war, and you are panicking. And you have not asked yourself, why are they not saying something about the East? Why did they not say to Eastern Security Network? Why did they not say to me, if you don't stop evacuating Fulani terrorists from the forest, there will be war? Because they know, they understand psychologically that you don't have what it takes to resist them. Do you know why Borno State is still alive? Why you still have the Kanuri people in Borno today? Was because they resisted the Fulani centuries ago. You have to go back to history to understand how Nigeria came into existence. Fulani has been expanding from day one, from Senegambia. All the way from Senegambia, they've been expanding, and now they are in Okigwe. All the way from Senegambia. They are now in Okigwe. And you're asking us to somehow fold our hands and keep quiet because of 2023, because one idiot is going to come out to become a president, because of that rubbish, because of that nonsensical notion, we should fold our hands and wait until we are overrun by the Janjaweed from the Sahel. Is that how reasonable people think? Is that how people that wish to survive as a race, is that how they reason? It is very, very shocking that some of you do not understand what the Fulanis have in store for you. Very, very soon it is going to happen. And when it happens, your eyes will clear. And about whom you will see it very clearly. I was warning you. In 2014, 2015, 2016, they said he's a warmonger. He's a warmongering. I went to America and I told World Igbo Congress that this war you are avoiding is going to come to your villages. They said, no, it's not going to happen. What is happening today? When Yoruba was supporting the dead idiot called Buhari, did I not warn them that this evil you're supporting will consume you? They never listened. They never wanted to listen. IPOB is a terrorist group. You're trying to divide Nigeria. But Mietiana is not. People that you are calling bandits, have you heard anybody come out to say, please, Buhari, since presidency is there defending terrorists in the forest, why don't you proscribe them? No, you cannot proscribe a Fulani group. Never. And all of you, we are supporting evil. When there is the proscribed IPOB, proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. These are Yoruba journalists writing junk. Every day they keep writing rubbish. But their land is under siege. Their land is under siege. And the Fulani will take it. It doesn't take time. So I am here today to encourage them that they must stand tall and be very strong, resolute. That is what Fulani does. They control the media. They have well-paid consultants all over the world doing their bidding for them. They have that woman at UN trying to lobby the world that everything is okay in the zoo called Nigeria. But you and I know that the zoo is not okay. You and I know the game plan of the Fulani. And what are you doing about it? Nothing. Every day you read, you lament, you complain. Every day you read, you lament. And that's all you do. That is all you do. You read, you lament, you complain. You do nothing about it. Your lives are being taken away from you. Your forests are being occupied. Your mothers are being raped. Your daughters are being abducted. And the whole national government, presidency, is supporting such people. And you're telling me that Nigeria is viably sustainable. Is that what you're telling me? That somehow this contraption is sustainable, it is viable. It can never be. Because the more you stay in one Nigeria, the more you are inviting the Fulani to take over your ancestral lands, take over your villages, and to make life a misery for you. That is the end game. That is the outcome. If you doubt me, go and do a bit of research. Ask yourself, who are the Hausa people? Who are the Nupe people? Who are the Bachama people? All of these people were steamrolled by the Fulani march to the Atlantic Ocean. And now they're in Yoruba land. They're in their forests. They are in their forests. And who's going to drive them away from there? This is not the Yoruba youth. Forget about your useless governors. Your elders are very strong. I love Yoruba elders. The way they behave, the way they talk. Very, very strong. They say they support Akeredolu. This is the governor of Ondo State. They support him in what he's doing. People must come out to say that enough is enough. When you travel to the north, do you live in the forest in the north? The Igbo people in Sabongeri in Kanu. Are they living of course it's Hausa land, are they living in the forest? They came to the town, they work very hard, they build houses, they build mansions, they develop the entire place. Is that not what they do? What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. I want some of you who have had your breakfast this morning. Please go to your fridge or go to where you keep your beverages and you will see pig milk. Pig. Some of us were raised on pig milk. For how many years now? And you keep asking yourself, what is pig milk? Pig milk is the same milk that the cows produce in Holland can be produced in the zoo. Tell me the country in the world aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council where you move cattle from place to place. Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century, moving cattle from place to place, telling me they're grazing. Which country is that? Please tell me. All of you don't have any shame. When you have people, an entire presidency coming out to defend a very primitive, archaic agricultural practice, then you know you embrace serious mess. You are in one almighty trouble, I'm telling you. People are in a mess. The Holland that you get your pig milk from, do they move cattle from Rotterdam to Amsterdam? I'm asking you a simple question. But they produce the pig milk that you're drinking every blessed day. Why can't Fulani produce pig milk in Sokoto? Why can't they produce carnation milk in Kanu? They have the cattle. Before the white man came, did you see any Fulani in your forest? All these people talking rubbish about movement of cattle and movement of... I'm asking you, before Britain came and handed over Nigeria to Fulani, ask your grandfathers, please, or your grandmothers. Ask them. All this nonsense we are hearing today in this so-called one, I want to tell you the dangers of one Nigeria. All this nonsense you're hearing today about one Nigeria, Fulani in our forest, Fulani in our village. Before the white man came, did you see Fulani moving their cattle all over the place? Did we not have meat to eat? They will answer these questions for you. Because sometimes in Africa we don't reason very well. The way we reason is disjointed. I can't understand for the life of me why instead of them to waste all that money arming and equipping this Janjaweed army to come and conquer you and I, why don't they open a milk factory somewhere in the north and bring the milk down south? I'm sure Southerners will buy it. After all, pig milk comes all the way from Holland. Pig milk all the way from Holland. Now you understand it. Because of the way you people reason. Why can't you produce? Is it difficult to produce milk? The same milk that comes out naturally from the udder of the cow. Why can't you can it somewhere, pasteurize it, and send it to people to eat, to drink, or to do whatever with? All over the world, that is what is happening. In fact, they produce so much milk in Europe that they pour it away. Why can't you do the same thing? A whole president claiming they are in the 21st century are supporting a very primitive practice of moving cattle from place to place. All of you, you're not ashamed of yourselves. You have no shame. As somebody will say, your shame is shaming me. I'm telling you, you people from the zoo, I'm ashamed of your ignorance and stupidity. You people are hopeless, completely hopeless. One day now, one idiot to come and say, we are intellectuals. And you're moving cattle from Kafanchan to Ahoda. You are intellectuals. You are intellectualizing. You are in the 21st century, you are moving cattle, driving cattle, Nama, from over 3.
When Buhari started this is agenda, NNAMDI Kanu was the first person that pointed it out. He was the first person that told Nigerians and alerted Nigerians to what is coming. Nobody believed him until eventually Buhari now exposed himself. And you started seeing Nigerians now providing their own security from Amateku to Ebubago that never was in Imo State and all the rest of them. It was under Buhari's word that you saw all these terrorists. NNAMDI Kanu alerted us. Go and check. It was this revelation that angered Buhari. That was why he started his ESN in the South to protect the Igbos. So it was not easy because the first place of call would have been in the Southeast. That Buhari felt that we are too stubborn, that he's going to deal with us another. NNAMDI Kanu took preemptive steps to protect the Igbos in the Southeast. So this thing angered Buhari because they were not easy to penetrate as they planned. That was why they put him in Kula and they used them. Ask yourself, what is that thing that is so special in him?
But evil will come back to haunt you. All of you never knew that IPOB and this Biafra movement was for your liberation. Some of you saw maybe the oil and gas from Biafra land. If they go now, we'll have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? There is nothing more precious in life than freedom. Freedom is very important. And I need you to understand this very morning. Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw Joseph Kadu did that law Banta. They have taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope of them are prove to us that you are our stood. Give us land in Olo. Hope of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer a misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. Was yesterday or 2 days ago. Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never ever be objective in their reportage. Never ever ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you're from Urobo. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, Tinubu will not be president in 2023. Tinubu won't be the president. That's what I'm saying to you. And foolishly you will agree and hand over your land to them. And once they take your land over from you, look at Hausa. Because there is a saying where we come from. If you want to know what your life is going to become in the future, look at Hausa people. If you want to understand or appreciate, I will say, the life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is their land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who's an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something's going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this rule. Demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we are asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost
Kalu said, especially his old broadcast where he was still lamenting about Fulani herdsmen. I keep telling you guys that Fulani herdsmen has contributed to a lot of harm in the community, whereby we've lost thousands of people, we've lost our farmers, we've lost our mothers, our loved ones because of these terrorists. And now Nigerians are asking, what are we going to do to stop Fulani herdsmen? And now this is when Benue Monarch came out to say that we need to make an end. We need to stop insecurity, thereby telling the herdsmen to vacate our farmlands. And I feel that it's not going to be possible. You telling them with your mouth like that, because even if you tell them with your words like that, it will still make them to vacate from your farmland. So we need an anti-grazing law in the sense that no Fulani herdsmen should be seen in a community without access. No Fulani herdsmen should be seen anywhere in anybody's farmland. Maybe the law should be that if any Fulani herdsman is seen in the land, they should be arrested. Maybe if we continue like that, we'll find out that if we continue with that way, we'll find out that we'll no longer see any Fulani terrorists in our farmlands again. By then, it will reduce, and many Nigerians will be able to go to their farmlands and cultivate. I'm not going to lie, agriculture has falling down ever since the Fulani terrorists took over Nigeria. Like, people hardly go to their farms again. Somebody will tell you that my investments wasted. Like, I don't go to my farm again, and my farmland is the only place I feed. My farmland is the only place I get many income. Yes, I've seen a farmer who said his life depends on farming. Like, everything about him is farming. This is where he feeds his family. Now you'll find out that even in all those things, you can't our Nigerian government cannot help by eradicating the Fulani herdsmen, because it's these Fulani herdsmen are the people that are causing problems in Nigeria, and the government cannot help by telling them to go away so that people will be able to farm. Many people have used this farming to feed their children, send their children to school. Without this farming, some people may not actually cope. But that is one thing that the Nigerian government don't understand, that farming is a whole lot. Farming has contributed so much to this country. Yes, it has contributed so much to this country. At least people no longer only depend on oil, but agriculture. You'll see many people that they will tell you that it is through this agriculture that they used to build their houses, that they used to. You have not seen the richest farmer in Nigeria. Now, all these things that is now going on, this kind of terrorist attack, how will those people now be proud to be called farmers? They may even be afraid self to go to farm because of this same issue. A lot is really happening in Nigeria. Just like I told you guys, every day we keep hearing of different news in Nigeria. Now, just take a look at the one that even happened recently. We're still talking about the fact that Fulani terrorists are invading us and destroying us. We are still seeing some stories. Like, imagine the one that just happened where they say that the one that happened in River State, that they kidnapped some children. They say pirates demand 100 million naira ransom for adopted WAEC students, passengers in River State. This to show you that this is what is really happening in Nigeria. We're still talking about Fulani herdsmen are disturbing us. We're still talking about these people are the people that kidnap these WAEC students are still asking for 100 million naira ransom in order for them to free these WAEC students. A lot is going on in Nigeria. When I tell you guys that the money we spend on insecurity is a whole lot, this is an example of what I'm trying to tell you people about. If you guys have been following me, I keep saying it, that the money we spend on insecurity is a whole lot. Imagine the river people are even saying that they don't have such amount of money to give those people 100 million naira, and they're saying, where are they going to raise such an amount of money from? A whole lot is going on in Nigeria, and we need to put an end to insecurity by telling the Nigerian government to intervene. The Nigerian government are so quiet about the insecurity going on in the land. I don't know if I'll say that they are afraid of what is going to happen. I don't just know. Anyway, guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below about what do you really think about the insecurity going on in Nigeria and what can be used to solve this insecurity. And also, I'm going to advise everybody, please, everybody should vote wisely come 2027. If you feel that that this hardship, you guys are tired of this hardship, if you feel that you guys are tired of this bad governance, we should vote wisely come 2027. Just like I saw a video of where a man was putting the banner of Tinubu, and I was like, what are you doing? Don't you still have sense? You know that APC has ruled us for so long, still there's no change, and you're still putting the banner of Tinubu in Abuja and telling people that it's coming for 2027. And many Nigerians are now asking, why is he in a hurry, in a rush to put his banner immediately? Why is he in a rush to start putting his banner when 2027 never even reach? He has started putting his banner poster everywhere so that people will know. If he has I think he's trying to do this so that he's not going to lose in 2027. But anyway, let us see how things go on. The power of a good governance is in our hands, and we need to vote wisely. So guys, that's all we have for today. Let me know your thoughts below, and also if you know you're new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like and share, and turn on the notification button to get all the latest news in this channel. So guys, thanks for watching.